Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Alright, hello and welcome ladies and gentlemen to the International 4 NA Qualifiers. It starts now with Sneaky Nyx Assassins. They're going to be going up against Shadows of the Past here in this best of one. I'm Helium, and joining me on the mic is none other than Trouth.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, should have a good game here. SNA versus Shadows of the Past. I don't know much about Shadows of the Past, honestly, except I do recognize their players, but I don't know how they perform. Generally speaking.
Yeah, I haven't got to see a whole lot of games. Pretty much their recent match history was all ADL Season 2, and they've had some decent results against these TI4 qualifying teams. Risk and Chicken MC, I got to meet in Montreal in March for a LAN event where they got second place, so they play well together. But this team overall, it's fairly new, with some mixed results so far in 6.81, so we'll see how they do. But Sneaky Nyx Assassins, we've got to see them a bunch, you know. Probably the favorites in this matchup. What do you think of that team so far?
Yeah, I mean, they've been practicing probably more than any other team in NA qualifiers, I would say. Them and like NAR have been practicing a lot more. But then again, I don't know much about the other teams, so I could be wrong on that. But I do know that Sneaky Nyx Assassins has been around probably longer than most, and they've been looking good. They've been taking some games off of some known teams, so. They pick up a Mirana first, by the way, which is like... I've been watching a lot of EG, and the one thing I've noticed is that they pick up Mirana almost every single game they can. So that's one interesting thing to note.
Yeah, to be honest, most teams have been picking up Mirana first. She's been picked a lot. SNA, they've got a record of 5-1 with the hero, so they've been using it pretty well so far into 6.81, with the only big nerf being the vision to the arrow, which I don't think really was all that big, a little less scouting. So Mirana for the Sneaky Nyx Assassins, they ban out the Invoker, they ban out the Bat Rider, not heroes that they're playing a whole lot, but they obviously don't want to play against them. And meanwhile, Shadows of the Past, interestingly enough, taking out a Sand King. They're pretty scared, I guess, to play against Fluff and Stuff Sand King. They take out the Lycan as well. He receives some nerfs, but still a little scary. Really early split push, it just destroys towers. And Shadows of the Past, Treant, Darkseer. What do you think of those two together?
Well, Treant is I think one of the best and my favorite support heroes in the game right now. If you know what lanes you're going up against, you can really exploit that. Like if you're going up against you're going up against a solo off lane, you can buy boots and just completely sell them out all by yourself, which is really impressive to do with just one melee hero. And then when you get levels on him, he's one of the best scaling supports in the game. Darkseer, kind of an early Darkseer pickup, and it's kind of annoying picking up against already one hero that has a leap or kind of escape mechanism. So I'm not sold on the early Darkseer pick, but it definitely can work out if you have a good Darkseer player.
Yeah, and we'll see who plays it. I'm actually not sure. I believe Chicken MC should be taking up the mid lane for Shadows of the Past, with Risk, who's in the game as 1, usually on the 1 role, believe it or not, based on his name. So it's either going to be Last Hit Magic, Nayrok, or Joik playing the Darkseer. So we'll have to wait and see. But meanwhile, Sneaky Nyx Assassins, they pick up the Clockwork second. IX Mike is 18-1 on this hero in the last couple weeks.
I know I've seen that stat, but again, you need to take stats with a grain of salt.
Yeah, like, it does have a grain of salt.
Like, you can play... I don't even want to say a name because that's just going to be like a flamethrower thing. But you could just play the same teams over and over and over that are worse than you and just pump your stats up that way. Or pad your stats, so to speak. So while it is an impressive stat, you got to look at it in context.
It's relevant here though, because the context is they've played all the teams in these qualifiers. So
that is very true. Yep, that's a good point.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We got Bane being taken out. I mean, obviously they're going to take out Bane. They'll probably take out the Shadow Demon as well. They don't want SNA to be able to set up the arrows so easily. Although Clockwork, he's got the hook, he's got the cogs. That's a guaranteed arrow if you need it. Puck is taken out, and I gotta say, that's a respect ban for Chicken MC. When we were at that LAN in Montreal, he went 17-0 in 20 minutes and got a sheep stick, and he just won the game by himself. So.
Wow. You know, I have a little funny story about Chicken MC that people probably don't know.
Reserve time.
He used to play Han, and I came across him. He wasn't a pro Han player, and he wasn't like people didn't really know him that well. But he used to stream a little bit in Han, and I ran across a stream randomly, and it was titled "Fat Guy on a Treadmill Playing Han," and he was literally on a treadmill playing on his laptop and just like running and playing Han at the same time. But it was funny because he was owning the games that he was playing. And I just thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. And then I friended him after that because I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, he's a character, to say the least. As he did change our stream title before we went live. Luckily, we changed it back here. Or the broadcast channel in-game. And clearly he knows you because he was flaming you in that title, if you did catch it.
Oh, what did it say?
It said, dumbass Trouf, lol.
Oh, there you go.
And yeah, okay, the Shadow Demon banned out, not surprising there. So we'll see what else SNA wants to pick up to try to sync with the Mirana. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin is going to be banned out. Again, strong mid-hero that could allow Chicken MC to snowball out of control. So it looks like they might be trying to control him a little bit this game. Shadows of the Past now going for their third pick. You'd like to see a ranged hero coming out, and maybe another stun, just because, like you said, Mirana. So far, there's a vacuum and overgrowth. Not the best stuns to try to lock down this Mirana.
I think Rubik would actually be really good for Shadows of the Past right now. It would. Rubik's really good against Clockwork to get him out of the cogs, and it's also really good against Mirana for two reasons. One, it's I think Rubik's actually really underrated right now. I think people think, oh, Rubik has no damage and no one's picking him up, and heroes like Shadow Priest and Shadow Demon are very popular, so Rubik doesn't get enough love. But it's a very guaranteed and instant stun for heroes that leap like Mirana. And you can take over the arrow, which is like one of the best spells, I think, to take over because it's an instant cast arrow. So I think Rubik would be really good here for Shadows of the Past. And for sneaking Nyx Assassins, I would say Dazzle would be really good for them. All the two other supports that couple really well with Mirana are banned out from Shadows of the Past, so yeah.
Yeah, Sneaky Nyx Assassins seem to favor the Disruptor, which, I mean, you glimpse back, you can land the arrow if you practice it off of the glimpse pretty easily, so maybe they want to go for that. It's also a nice range support, but a Morphling gets picked up here. You can probably glimpse back from Replicate as well, but I guess you kind of have to know. That would just be Morphling messing up if he's forced to take his Replicate and then gets glimpse back. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have to pick a support that always complements Mirana, like with the arrow. Like it's not like a must thing to do, but it definitely does help. But yeah, I agree. They do run Disruptor a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
His ultimate is so good in any situation. In fact, I was watching.
5
who was
seconds
it?
Remaining.
I think E-Hug versus yesterday. Shoot, I forget who they were playing. Oh, Liquid.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
They were playing Liquid. And they were down. They ended up losing 0-2, but they were almost coming back simply because a Disruptor was owning a Wisp strat. Just when they replicate or when they relocated, and he just threw down that Static Storm, and then they were instantly silenced. So yeah, I thought AA actually might come out because of the Morphling, but Tria Protector is actually pretty good against AA. So AA's been falling out as well.
Yeah, that attack speed really hurts now at -20. Like Trient, for instance, if he gets Chilling Touch, like he can't even attack at the start of the game. And yeah, the Ice Blast is great against Morphs, because obviously you're Morphling, what do you want to do? You want to Strength Morph, but as you Strength Morph, then you lower the threshold for when you're going to Shatter. So it can be kind of dangerous, especially if you get stuck into it. And fourth pick, Shadows of the Past. I guess they need another support to go along with that Treant Protector, and probably a mid and or another carry, depending on if they want to put Morphling into that mid one role, sort of like Arteezy does for EG.
Yeah, I don't know about the Morphling pickup. I think maybe it's okay, but I feel like they could have waited a little bit on it. I think Morphling is one of the core heroes that you want to wait as long as you can to just not give the other team enough information. But I really feel like Rubik would be really good for Shadows of the Past. It's very rare that you say that about a specific support hero like Rubik that doesn't get picked up much, but it's really good against Clockwork, it's really good against Mirana, and they pick Lich, so very defensive. Maybe they're going to go some kind of dual lanes here.
Well, they've got the ice armor, they've got living armor, so they can keep someone alive for a long time. And maybe it's Darkseer just running in, face tanking with his Ion Shell. And I like the Rubik, honestly, that you brought up. You've been saying it's good against Clockwork mainly because you can just lift Clockwork out of his cogs and throw him right back over, and then Clockwork is pretty much dead no matter what. Sand King also functions well in that regard, but he's banned. You can just Burrow Strike under the cogs, and then that's a long 2.17 second stun, or Clockwork is probably going to die. But Lich, I don't know, defensive, Aghanim Scepter, setting up some ancient traps. That's obviously cheesy, but maybe we see it happen here.
Yeah, I saw the Aghanims change in the last changelog, and it looks really, really flashy and funny on paper, but I feel like I will never see it actually come into play where it's like, wow, it's just going on forever, because the heroes will either die or leave in the duration of it happening. The only time I've seen it be actually effective is like when they start, you know, spamming them on Ancients, and then a team walks by the Ancients, and then they just get annihilated by it. That's actually really funny.
I think Alliance did it. Is that like the only pro team so far?
I feel like there's been another team, but yeah, I know that Alliance has done it.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny thing, but well, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I feel like Lich he's okay. He's not that great against Mirana, but the other heroes, Ancient Apparition's kind of clunky. Shadow Shaman's actually kind of clunky. So it's going to be easy to get.
He's really clunky. Yeah. I picked Shadow Shaman to feed the most throughout the qualifiers, just because he is so slow and so squishy.
5 seconds.
We'll see if I'm right. That's my prediction. Although that's only for the EU, so we get a lot of data before we really have to decide on that.
Wait, so what kind of... Wait, that's one of the stats that you...
In the compendium, you can pick who is going to have the most deaths throughout the qualifiers, so...
I need to get me a compendium. I haven't got one yet.
Oh, you're not talking in purple, man? You're missing out. But Shadow Shaman...
Are they like $10?
They're $10, and you can buy more points to level it up, ranging from $2.50, $5, and $10, which is probably why the prize pool is already over 3.7 million, because as you level it up, you get those purple effects in-game, like the Blink Daggers, the Bottle, Fountain and Regen, TP, and whatever else. I'm sure we'll notice them.
Huh.
But Luna, Storm Spirit, banned out.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird Luna ban. I don't feel like Shadows of the Past would go Luna and Morphling. That would seem kind of weird to me. Storm Spirit, I haven't seen much Storm Spirit honestly at all, but still a definitely good hero. I think the problem with Storm Spirit is just he's not that good in lane. Like until level 6, he's very susceptible to death, and all you have to do is just send a couple of support heroes mid with an early smoke. Like Shadow Demon's been so popular lately, it's like a guaranteed kill every single time. But Centaur last pick tier for Shadows of the Past. Is it going to be a Morphling mid with like a farming Centaur? Kind of interesting. Again, I haven't seen much Shadows of the Past, so I don't know what they usually run.
Yeah, I think about everyone's in the same boat, so we'll have to wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some interesting duo lanes, maybe. Like keeping Morphling alive in the mid lane. Lich might be there to deny some creep away from whoever they're going to face. That should be the 5th pick coming up now. Assuming SNA doesn't want to run Shadow Shaman as a 1 roll. I've seen them do that before. It's pretty effective if you want to end the game early, and against a Morphling maybe you do. Now with the pickup of a Death Prophet, while Exorcism's online, they can push earlier. They've got pretty strong teamfight themselves, although very squishy supports that Centaur could have a field day with. So we'll have to see how this game goes.
Yeah, not to mention the Lich ulti we'll have a field day with. Like, Train Protector ulti plus Lich ulti is actually a really good combo that we don't see too much. And these heroes can't really run away. Like, the only ones that can are Mirana and maybe a Clockwork if he uses his hook defensively to, like, go somewhere else. But that's never going to happen. He's always going to be wanting to initiate in. So, I actually don't really like this lineup from SNA. I feel like they're definitely the better team, and they'll probably be able to pull it off, but... if these were teams of equal skill level, I don't think that I would think SNA's lineup is very good.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, Shadows of the Past definitely have the players. They've got the individual skill, but they don't have, the leadership. The 2 internationals that Fluff and IX Mike have attended. So there's some good leadership on Sneaky Nyx Assassins, and maybe leads to them making better late game decisions. But based on the drafts, maybe a bit cheesy in terms of the push. We'll have to wait and see. And we can get these introductions out of the way. But of course, it's a real Dota game. It's the International 4 qualifiers. The game's going to be paused.
Yep. Not for long, as MC comes back, so that's good. Yeah, the only thing about Shadows of the Priest lineup is I'm not sold on the Morphling in particular, unless they have a really comfortable Morphling player, but other than that, I actually really like their lineup. I like the Centaur last pick as a core, like not in the offlane, because I feel like he's okay in the offlane, especially on Radiant. Like, he's really good Radiant offlane. But if you just guarantee him farm. He gets like a sub 10-minute blink. He just starts going ham. And he actually needs a little bit extra farm now with the nerfs to his mana cost. So, yeah, I actually like shout out to the priest lineup here.
Yeah, nice to get some stats. What do you go for those brief stat items on Centaur Warrunner?
Let me see here. I think just an upgraded magic wand and maybe treads instead of tranquils, so you can tread swap. I'm a big fan of treads over tranquils in many situations. Tranquils are still nice, but maybe that. You could also just get tranquils, magic wand, and maybe like a bracer. Like that would help, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking casual bracer could be pretty good for the 3 intel that it gives you. Alright, looks like the game is going to be underway, so we can get some of these introductions out of the way. For the sneaky Nyx Assassins over here on the Dire in this, we've got Fluff and Stuff on his Ancient Apparition, the Shadow Shaman. That's going to be played by Whitebeard. He's being followed by Ush. They'll be going supporting there in that aggressive tri-lane. Mid lane, it's going to be Sna over on the Death Prophet. And up top, it will be IX Mike 88 on his signature Clockwork here in a solo safe lane. And if you'd like to take the Radiant there.
Sure. Radiant, we got last magic with boots very early on, running down here. Playing the Tree and Protector, Nayrok, familiar face in the NA scene. He's playing the Darkseer. Chicken MC playing that Centaur Warrunner. Joik on the Lich. And finally one, is that Risk?
Yeah, it's Risk.
Okay, Risk on the Morphling. So there you go. Could see a possible engagement here.
Yeah, there are quite a few people down here. The entire Radiant team, so that's Shadows of the Past. Meanwhile, just 3. And here's Last Hit Magic. He obviously picks up the boost for this reason. Maybe expecting just an offlaner, just the Clockwork, and he's looking to get in Clockwork's face. Just right-click and throw out the Leech Seed. And Treant Protector is going to win those trades at level 1. But that's not what he finds. He finds this tri-lane, and maybe sneaking Nyx Assassins change their laning based on their intel, but looks like they're sticking to the aggressive lane.
Yeah, very interesting. It's kind of unfortunate they didn't see this ward get placed here. This is kind of a big deal, having this vision up here for Sna. He's thinking about it. He's like, did he ward up here? Did he ward over there? He's not quite sure yet, and he wants to be a little careful about where he wastes his sentry. So, even though we got boots here and it's going to be a try-v-try, boots are still okay. Like, as long as you can find your opening. I think Stout Shield is a bit better in 3v3 engagements. There, he's got the ward, so nice. That's really, really good and really important for Shadows of the Past.
Yeah, he could even have put it up a little bit more and potentially get both of them, but I think that's the more common ward these days. It gives you vision of the pool that generally aren't blocked anymore. It gives you the jungle rotation and a little bit of vision into the lane. So they take out that, and that's going to help them quite a bit in this defensive lane.
Yeah, and Joik right now is just sitting mid. I feel like maybe what he should do is sit mid until level 2. Because Lich is really garbage and useless until level 2. Like that's the fault of Liches. Is I can see a lot of Liches get over aggressive and like, ooh, I gotta deny, I'm gonna get some more experience. And then they like deny the wave so much that like they forget they're gonna tank creeps because their wave dies so fast. So he's pretty useless until level 2. He's gonna do some stacking now for probably the Darkseer just in general. And there you go. So
I think Lich is going to be great, though. Once he gets level 2, maybe even level 3, and he comes down to this tri-lane, that Frost Blast does so much damage to the squishy Mirana and these other squishy supports. So you can just terrorize them, obviously, minimize how much XP they're going to get. We see Whitebeard and Fluff in the jungle just taking out these camps that they were trying to pull through. So they're looking to get up their levels. Meanwhile, Ush, is he farming? He's 3-1. He's doing okay. There's Chicken MC on the Centaur, 2-0, so he's getting some last hits. Soon to have his Tranquil Boots, probably what he'll go for first. And mid lane, we've got Joik just being annoying, trying to get those right clicks in here on Sna and hit level 2 like you were saying.
Smorfling is getting destroyed in CS though, like absolutely obliterated. Which is not good considering you had the deny first, a couple denies actually in mid, and you have a really, really high base damage by morphing level 1, so Sna and mid on the Death Prophet just doing really good. 11-3 compared to 3-1. That's a humongous disparity this early on.
Yeah, I haven't really seen Risk play the Morphling. When I think of Risk, I think of Slark, and he has done some crazy things on that hero. One tournament, I got to cast him in. Over 2 games, he went like 35-1 on Slark. So he definitely knows his way around that hero. Morphling, not so much. Struggling with the last hitting a bit, but mid lane, there's some aggression here onto Sna. There's a Frost Blast going out, as well as a Waveform. Sna fights back with a Crypt. Gets them to about half HP. The trade, maybe a little bit in favor of Sna, as he does have his bottle up and running, and you can start crowing here in about 30 seconds when it's upgraded.
Yeah, I'm just seeing, like, oh my god, he's owning this dual lane. And this should not be happening. It's kind of It's really bad actually for Shadows of the Priest. And I'm just seeing him miss a ton of CS. And bottom lane, he has like no CS either. Checking MC's just early game here for Shadows of the Priest. And I thought this would be good, but they're just not hitting their last hits. Not much more to say about that.
Even up top, Nayrak's only at 9, where Mike's sitting at 11, and this is actually a lane that I think Clockwork wins. He's maybe even a matchup where you want to put 2 into the power cogs just to take out the mana, but Battery Assault's going to do more damage than Ion Shell if you're wrapped up. An arrow lands in the bottom lane, last hit magic, the first blood, the Ether Shock coming out, and then up top we go back to that action. Nayrak now in trouble, diving under the tower, but they will trade it as the tower brings down IX Mike. So 2 for 1, and SNA definitely getting the better of that as they pick up the first blood.
Yeah, I missed the one bot. Who died actually on bottom? It was
Tree.
Oh, the Treant.
Last hit magic.
Yeah, I think Lich should have just stayed mid and just not moved at all until he hit level 2 and then walked bottom. But he walked bottom and he didn't even go bottom. He walked to the tier 2.
Just stacked.
And stacked, denied, then walked back mid, and then now he's still level 2. He should be like level 4 by now. That's one of the good things about Lich is you get leveled so easily. So could see some aggression here in mid. There's the Morphling with the strength morph, and he will die. Good rotation. Very desperately needed because the CS chart is getting kind of out of control early on here for SNA.
Yeah, they did use a smoke for that too. They were trying to wrap around, and then they saw the haste rune, and were like, alright, he's probably going to check for that, so we'll just walk down. And obviously Risk was in a bit of trouble, but his teammates show up. And it evens up the scoreboard at 2-2, but the CS, like you mentioned, Marana, that's Ush, 22-7, SNA, 22-3. And then the Morphling, we finally find him. Did he get that kill at least? No, he didn't. He just picks up an assist. He's got 16 last hits, 18 on Nayrak. So the laning stage, not going amazing for Shadows of the Past.
And Nayrak actually putting it back up here. Like, he's doing quite well. That was a dive by IXMech, and I think it was definitely worth it because he got the kill first, but it kind of
bottom lane. Arrow onto Chicken MC as he tries to dive into the tree line to escape that. Another Ether Shock coming out, and it looks like, yeah, Shadow Shimmy gets the kill there with his lightning. So nicely done. That makes Whitebeard 2-0.
Yeah, this is the power of, I think, Marana specifically in these tri lanes. Like, just has so many. Oh, action in mid. The waveform does hit SNA. Getting kind of fogged, or fogging, I should say, and he gets a counter kill of Morphling. Oh no. That should not happen. Last hit magic. He's not going to get this because it's just going to get fogged in the night. Oh, he does get it, but he's going to die. No, it's going to be so close. Living armor. Oh my god, that was pretty stupid of SNA. He should have just kept running. He got really greedy.
Yeah, I think he saw trees. Like, I can probably just go ahead and throw out the Crypt Storm. Looks like last hit magic doesn't want to run back to base. He's only level 4, so he takes the free trip back. It probably saves the time. It definitely saves the gold. Well, not really, because he knew he was going to die, and he quickly bought up 2, maybe 3 town portal scrolls, so he's got a bunch of those in his inventory. So expect him to be moving around the map and reacting to any sort of aggression or tower dives. And to start it off, Risk, I don't know, he got fogged a little bit. I think if he just walked in the trees auto-attacking, he could have lived. But he took another Crypt Swarm, and obviously he dies, so that's not a fantastic trade for them.
Mike, he like literally just stayed up in this creep wave. Okay, that was really close. He almost died there, but he's pretty fast. That's one of the great things about Clockwork that people forget is that he's got one of the highest movement speeds in the game. With boots, it's 365, so it's hard to catch up to him. But
it's no Skywrath.
Yeah. Oh, I love Skywrath, by the way. Oh, Chicken MC's gonna die again, by the way. He does have his ultimate. He just hit 6. They could turn this. They could turn. Oh, Whitebeard taking so much damage. If they had a TP right there, there's like 3 dead. And you know that Treant has... No, he TP top, never mind.
Yeah, it's on cooldown. I was going to say, we know that Treant's got a bunch of them. No overgrowth for him yet. He's only level 4. There's the Stampede right into the Shackle, so it doesn't really work out. Arrow will connect. Chicken MC, can they bring him down? They do. The Starfall gets him. TPs have come in, though. It's Nayrak arriving first, then Joik. Ion Shell goes out, but the Moonlight Shadows has been queued up, and there's no detection here from Shadows of the Past, so it doesn't look like... Okay, maybe they're going to get a kill. Whitebeard runs into the tree line. He almost goes down. This is running out. He's looking to get the Shackle here. There's a lot of dire members around. He's just far enough away not to take any damage, but the Chicken, he's going to get killed by the Chicken with an Ion Shell. It finally runs out. He needs one more attack. He throws the wall. It's off the mark. Looks like an auto attack from Lich will get the kill, but it's a support for the offlane Darkseer, who's got the most CS on Shadows of the Past. Now they maybe even want to kill Joik. Mike has showed up down here. He's got a hook shot. He's level 7. He's got 3 in Battery Assault, 2 in Rocket Flare, so tons of damage, and looks like the team fight, or the engagement rather, is over.
Yeah, but they're gonna lose this tower. This tower is so important, by the way. They're thinking about diving this poor lowly lich. He's not 6 yet. If he was, this could have been a really big turn. He should die. Arrow connects. Here comes some possible response, though.
Well, they get him with a right click from bottom. Ush clearly showed up to play today. I don't think he's missed an arrow yet. He hasn't even required any setup. But did they get him here? Centaur stomp out. It's going to miss. Now he leaps away. Mike is in here to run interference. He still has the hook available, so they might yet be able to turn around and get another kill. It pops the battery salt. Has the cogs, and it looks like he'll be okay. Everyone getting out of dodge. The score now at 8 minutes. 8-4 in favor of the sneaky Nyx Assassins.
There's just, it seems like there's not very good communication coming out from the Radiant team. Like, if they had earlier TPs, they would have just destroyed them bottom. Like, especially when Whitebeard wrapped around the first time, he went from full to like less than half, and you had an ultimate ready on Centaur. Centaur probably could have just killed him himself if he got really lucky, but one TP there, and like at least 2 for sure are dead, maybe 3. So I think they need to communicate a little bit better. And yeah, SNA's just kind of out farming now, and that bottom tower being down, that's actually a huge deal for most teams. If they just keep staying down here, they already have a ward in the jungle. They can just completely take over this lane and the jungle early on here.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard for Morphling or Centaur to go down there and find the farm. Looks like Morphling's been content with staying in the middle lane for now. He finds himself 36-5. He's got boots, he's got Aquila. When you're playing Morphling, I mean, what's the first item you're looking for? Do you expect him to go for like a casual Yasha to farm, or finish treads, go Lincolns?
This game, I don't think Lincolns would be good at all. The only things are Shadow Shaman, which I guess are okay. And then you get items after that, so I'd probably say it's BKB.
Oh, bottom lane hook. First hook of the game, I believe. That's going to be onto Nayrok. He takes an arrow to the face, and that's obviously going to go set up the cold feet here. It will latch. He's going to be stunned for a while. One more attack from Fluff will get it. The Stampede goes out. Fluff's going to give up his life for that, but I think it's a worthwhile trade. And for the most part, SNA just going to run away. I mean, after they use the Stampede, there's really nothing Shadows of the Past can do to lock down anybody.
That was actually a misplay by Ush. He missed his Starfall, or Starstorm, whatever it's called. He was trying to.
I say Starfall still, but it is technically Starstorm.
Yeah, Starfall just sounds so much better to me.
It does.
But this is one of the other powers things that I didn't touch on, is the Shadow Shaman plus Death Prophet. That Roshan dies in literally a matter of seconds. So.
Yeah, especially on the Dire.
Roshan. Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And do they kill Risk as they rotate back to the mid lane? It doesn't look like they will. They save their tower. It's taken a little bit of damage there in the middle lane. Actually, Ush, I think he's looking for kills by his lonesome. Does he hit anybody? I don't think so. But there is a response. 4 of 5 Shadows of the Past members hiding down here near the tier 1 in the middle lane.
Yep. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. They can just set, and this is one of the powers of Potom too. Is like, you can't really kill her. You can't really send people down to kill him, because if you lost your tower, you're probably not farming well anyway. So you don't have early blinks. You don't have good lockdown to kill a Mirana. So she could just sit here forever and just farm. If her teammates get in trouble, she just pops the ultimate. Farm. So they're in a really, really bad spot.
I mean, even if they do kill her, she's got the Aegis already at 11 minutes. So yeah. Ush can just die, like do as much damage as he can, probably kill one, die, respawn, pop off his ultimate, and the rest of his team will engage. So they really can't stop this Mirana whatsoever, proving why she is such a strong pick. She's so versatile. She can support, she can roam, she can mid, off lane, hard carry, and you can leave her alone. It's fantastic, I think.
I think the reason, the bottom line, why like some of the top teams like her so much, specifically EG, is that she just owns her lane. Like, you put her in a tri-lane, you basically win that tri-lane no matter what. You put her up against an off-lane, you can actually kill that off-lane easily. So it just it secures a win for you in that lane.
Yeah, well, I'm really surprised people don't ban her out first. I mean, do you think it's more worthwhile to ban Mirana instead of Lycan?
Yes, I think TI, she will see bans at first.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Risk is going to get locked down. Stampede comes out, though. That will cancel the shackle. And now Chicken MC trying to do as much damage as he can. Can he get on the Whitebeard? He does indeed, but the Serpent Wards will bring him down, and the Cold Feet are going to snap that, takes down Darkseer, so Fluff with a kill there. Now Ush trying to run away. He did get off his ultimate, so far it's a 1-for-2 trade in favor of Snob, but they're going to bring him down. They've got detection here. They throw out the Dust. Can they get him? Yes, but it doesn't matter, because remember, Ush has the Aegis. Now they go for risk. They should have him with the Exorcism damage. Snob picks up a double kill. That's a 4-person... or 4 deaths there on Shadows of the Past, and that should translate into, well, the tier 1 tower is already dead. Maybe not translate into a tier 2. Respawn timers are short, but definitely solid advantage being gained for the Sneaky Nyx Assassins.
This is looking pretty grim here early on for Shadows of the Past. I saw a really good overgrowth on like multiple heroes, but Lich was like on the top side, like around where that ward was. And he used the ult, because I saw it was just off cooldown, but it didn't hit, like, it must not have bounced, or he only hit it on, like, one hero, because there was a really good opportunity down where the tree was, but he wasn't there, so. That's one of the things I talked about, that they have really good synergy with those ultimates, but if you can't pull it off, then there's really no point in kind of drafting these two heroes together, especially Lich, because Lich, you want to either do one of two things, because if you don't do it, the hero's garbage. You either fight early with your ultimate with something that synergizes well, like they do have the heroes Darkseer and Treant, or you completely destroy one lane, like Potom Lich or something like that. But they didn't. They got actually out CS'd by the lane that the Lich started in, so that's the biggest problem I think here, is why Shadows of the Past is not doing well here.
Yeah, mid lane didn't go so hot for risk. He obviously morphs to get the last hit advantage, but then he's so squishy, he gets brought down by the Crypt Swarm. I don't know, maybe he loses his mojo and his confidence to go ahead and get those last hits. And they were pretty grouped together, the Lich and the Morphling. They were taking Crypt Swarms in the face at the same time, which is a no-no in that lane. And it didn't work out very well. We see Morphling at 3.8k on the net worth. Compare that, though, to Sna, 6.5 on the Death Prophet, Ush, 7.3 on the Morana. And we can take a look at the graphs overall. It's already a 10,000 gold lead for the Sneaky Nyx Assassins. XP, it's on its way there, maybe 7,500. The long road back for the Shadows of the Past.
Yeah, actually heroes that spam, like with nuke damage, are really good against Morphling, because, like you mentioned, you have good armor and you have really good damage, but the spams just hurt you. So heroes like Invoker, Shadow Fiend is really good against Morphling in that regard. Really, really good. I actually played up against Eternal Envy in a pub once, and it was one of those times when he starts spamming the same heroes that Arteezy does. So it was either Naga or Morphling, and I played up against him. Yeah, very, very fun. And he was complaining about me picking Shadow Fiend when he picks Morphling every time. Funny. Anyway.
Yeah, tier 1 tower top lane. It's gonna fall. It's not a very important tower, but I mean they're just taking map control. They're taking towers. They're getting a ton of gold for it, and they already have quite a bit. They probably are gonna take this down to a fight at the tier 2 tower. We've got a Treant replicate waiting. Morphlings farming up the bottom lane in the meantime, trying to catch up. But with an Exorcism, with Serpent Wards, I don't think this tier 2 tower stands any chance. And Mike's even gonna go ahead. Well, that's a hard illusion that he jumps on, so they don't get a kill there, and that puts the hook on cooldown. A little unfortunate, but it doesn't matter. No one's even here. We've got Shadows of the Past going for the trade, trying to get some map control, taking out the tier 1 in the mid lane, but there's a purple TP coming in from Sna.
Yeah, it's actually a very, very smart play. Like, when you're up, you should never trade whatsoever.
They just hit 3 with an Ice Blast in the mid lane, somewhat blind, expecting the retreat. Now they're throwing an arrow. Will it land on anyone? No. They Moonlight Shadowed for this, trying to catch somebody. They're going to leap up the hill. Oh, onto the trees. That's a little unfortunate. Also, there is a Maelstrom there. And a Yule's on Sna. That's going to hold Joik in place. One Crypt Swarm and an attack should bring him down. Sna onto a killing spree. I think Shadows of the Past pretty lucky. They only lost 1 right there.
Yeah, Morphling could be in some trouble here. Oh my god. That's when you think about throwing in the towel. Like, your Morphling died in less than 2 seconds, literally, to a Potom.
Hey, to be fair, she does a ton of damage 1v1, right?
She does, and she hit the double Starfall, and procced with her the Maelstrom. So pretty much everything happened there that you wanted to for your Ush. And yeah, this is getting out of control.
Yeah, about to lose the tier 2 tower in the mid lane as well. That means there's going to be only 1 standing. Of course, the Aegis was grabbed at 11 minutes. It's respawning relatively soon, anywhere between like 1 and 4 minutes. We can see that Roshan popping back up. So I would say expect Sneaky Nyx Assassins to go down, get that last tier 2, have complete map control, ward up the jungle once more, maybe even put a ward in the base, go ahead and take the Rosh, and then just look to end this game in a controlled fashion.
Dire's
Yeah,
top
and
tower
I don't
is
feel
under
like the
attack.
skill difference of players here is like necessarily high. I would say in mid lane maybe, because like there's no reason that you shouldn't be getting those last hits if you're Morphling. But all they had to do is just like make the conscious decision to try to fight them in that lane bottom. Like Lich gets level 2, maybe 3, then goes bottom, and you just fight them. You have the better heroes to fight them, I think. I mean, bottom is very scary, but if you catch one of those very clunky, squishy support heroes, which you can with the tree that has boots first, it's a very, very easy kill. And I think they just needed to make a conscious decision to do so.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they knew what to do with the Lich. Like, they throw it mid lane, and that's great. It gives ice armor, but we already talked about, you're spamming spells as a Death Prophet. The ice armor isn't going to matter. It's not going to help the Morphling. Just let him use the living armor. Put the Lich bottom at level 2. Then you've got a nuke. You can deny some creeps, and maybe you can win that tri-lane. Darkseer did okay top, and mid was losing with 2 people there, so you might as well lose with 1 person in the lane. But they didn't do it. They had some okay rotations, but as we can see, it hasn't quite worked out. They're down, what is that, 9 kills?
Yeah. Yeah, or they could have just if they wanted to do this Lich dual lane, like actually go full out and do it. Like to have him stay there, just keep denying, stay there, and then you'll have the extra levels. You nuke down the Death Prophet, then you wait for him in and actually kill him. But they were like you mentioned, they just didn't seem like they knew what they wanted to do. Like he ran around stacking, then ran bottom to deny, then ran back to mid, and kind of just moseyed around. So yeah, just a little confused as to what to do.
Yeah, well, the game plan is very obvious for Sneaky Nyx Assassins. Pretty much the whole game, and definitely right now, they've got these big ultimates. They want to push some towers. They probably won't even have to use it to take this tier 2, as Shadows of the Past not even going to look to defend whatsoever. So this is going to be an easy setup for the Roche, which is back in a little over a minute, about 1 minute and 30 seconds on that new Roshan timer, which is exactly the same as the old Roche timer, basically. But, you know, whatever. A little more straightforward, I suppose. Oh, Risk.
Yep.
He's in some trouble.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, hopefully he gets his tower. They need a tower so badly. At the very least, it'll go down, but he's dead. He is dead. Early blink here coming out for, and there's an AL. But
you know, just in case.
Yeah.
Has been denied.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything left here for Shadows of the Past. Obviously, they're staying in it. They want to play it out. These are best of ones, right?
Yeah, everything's best of 1 today. I think we've got 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, these are best of ones.
We'll see Sneaky Nyx Assassins once more today on this stream. It'll be the very last game of the day, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Shiva's here picked up for Death Prophet. That's 20-minute Shivas. And Yules. My god.
Yeah, Sna's happy. Sna's a good mid player, man. 4, 2, and 3 on this Death Prophet. This hero's kind of fallen out of focus, but again, if you don't have a lot of stuns, you've already got some other heroes you need to deal with. Clockwork to make space for you. He's died twice. One of those was in mid. I don't know if I caught the other one, or I just don't remember exactly where it was. But he got ganked in the mid lane once. So he's hard to bring down, and this Exorcism is wreaking havoc, and it's obviously done its job taking towers.
Yeah, and again, I still liked Shadows of the Past lineup. I just feel like the difference in like team coordination between the two.
Yeah, just the chemistry.
Yeah, is just vastly like superior for SNA. And
it's to be pretty expected, I think, based on, I mean, Fluff, Mike on SNA, Shadows of the Past, a new formed team with a lot of talent, but again, it's a newly formed team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Roshan is back. They're going to go in for it. The Illusion's tanking, not that they necessarily need to. We've got a full Mjolnir up on this Mirana with Phase Drums, Aquila. They've got the Shiva's Guard we talked about. We've got a Mechanism up here on Ike's Mike's Clockwork as they look to break into the high ground. Blink Dagger up on Shadow Shaman, so they've already had hard enough time keeping the Morphling alive. Now Whitebeard is just going to blink in, Sheep, Shackle, and destroy it. Ags being worked towards by Fluff and stuff on the Ancient Apparition. And Ag's also coming out from Whitebeard, so they're ready to break that high ground. And looking at the items on the other side of things, we finally have a Blink Dagger on Nayrok. So there's some initiation. I'd like to see Treant with the Blink Dagger. That way they can set up these ults a little bit better. And had the lanes been better and they got those Blink Daggers earlier, like on Centaur, on Tree, and Mech, Blink on Darkseer, then I think their lineup would have come to fruition, but didn't happen.
Yeah, Chicken MC just died too many times early on without help. So that was the biggest problem. This is just going to be Rax here bottom. I don't think Nyx has anything to be scared of. Yeah, there's the ultimate pop by SNA.
Yep, Serpent Wards go down, Fortification goes out. Let's see how they want to try to defend this. I think they're going to try to start off the Blink Vacuum Wall if they can. If you can even blink, like this Exorcism might just hit you and screw you up.
You can't blink into that. You can't, especially when they have a mech on IX Mike sitting behind them. You cannot blink into wards plus DP proc or DP ulti.
Oh, they're going to Stampede it instead. Last hit magic kicking off a 2-man Overgrowth, maybe even 3. Lich Ult goes out. This is going to be Mike and crew falling. Whitebeard gets blown up immediately, but now Mirana on the outside of this fight, just right-clicking at everyone. Lightning bolts going everywhere. Now they're going to finish off Nayrok. He disjoins one auto attack with that blink, but immediately the 2 cores and Treant die for Shadows of the Past. Snaw's going to keep chasing. He should just go back and kill these. Okay, the Raxes are already dead. Never mind. I guess they retreat. They could maybe go middle, but they don't want to push it.
Nayrok coming really close to death, but yeah, that's. I mean, when they fight into wards like that, you just have to kill the wards first because your base will just die. And yeah,
but with what though? Like,
say.
So much melee and Morphling's range is not very good, so they really have a hard time bringing down the Serpent Wards.
Yeah,
Lich is going to take all day.
Axe is almost completed on AA too, so these AA blasts are going to get more and more annoying. I feel like this hero's fallen out a lot because laning phase, like she's okay, but that nerf did hurt her a bit, and I feel like this hero is all about the ultimate. Like that's it. So once you get the Ags, it goes from being a okay support hero to like the best support hero in the game.
Yeah. What do you think about Visage? Visage has kind of fallen out of favor. I mean, he got
Visage,
nerfed a lot. I feel like he'll be back. I expect him to maybe pop up when teams need to go back for that comfort hero, a strong aggressive tri lane, and expect him to pop up maybe sometime through these qualifiers.
I love Visage, and I love the way that Zai plays him. Like, you can literally run Visage as a carry, completely carry, and he just owns so hard with farm. The birds with Ags are so strong. You can constantly push. Oh my god, yeah, it really is. I love Visage. I'm a big Visage fan.
Yeah, me as well, which I'm sad to see him out, but it's okay. We get a lot of new heroes in his place, which has been fun. Look at Joik chilling in the trees by the secret shop, just looking to get the flank on, I suppose, as you take that bottom lane of Rax. Seeking Exodus will just go top. Oh, they see him? What, the rocket fly over him?
Yeah, they're pinging him out, but they lost
he's running. He's running for it. He's panicking. He needs a TP, but he's going to stay there. Maybe try to run out. It's not having trouble. This is like the most awkward thing I've ever seen. And it looks like they're just going to stop carrying and look to push the Rax. Look at all this nature, guys, though. Everyone is set up by these trees. Uh-oh, Chick MCs runs out. He's going to get oozed immediately right into the arrow, but the illusion from the Treant is going to tank it. I believe that was a replicate. And looks like on the backside they have found somebody. They're going to find Joik Shackles, hook in just to kill the Lich. Is that worth it? Looks like we'll have to wait and see. Moonlight Shadows will go out. Is there detection? Dust, yeah, going to be used up. Overgrowth out, but that's unfortunate. Even if he has buyback or respawns, now they're not going to have the Overgrowth for about another minute. Narrow dodge of the arrow by Risk's Morphling, and yeah.
This is over. You also have a Deso, by the way, that just completed on the bottom. So that's going to be even more negative armor on these towers that are already taking ridiculous physical damage. And tap out, Shadows of the Priest. I'm sorry, but this is over for you guys, buddy. Like, oh boy. And another rotation to mid.
I'm not sure who Shadows of the Past are playing next. I mean, hopefully they're not too discouraged by this. I'm sure they've been scrimming. I was told that they've been doing well. I mean, they've been taking some scrims. They went 1-1 against North American Rejects and ADL. They went 2-0 versus no Earth Spirit. So they've taken games off of a lot of the other teams, as looks like the final team fight pretty much breaking out. Centaur goes down. Chicken MC not able to really do much this game, which is not really like Chicken MC. He's usually the one carrying his team by snowballing out of the lane. Not the case. Us shut him down completely with some really nice arrows early on, and the GG's called as the Megas.
Yep, I mean pretty easy win here for SNA, to be honest. And you were mentioning they won 1-1 SNA or NAR.
Yeah, they went. I think ADL is running that Euro format, the best of two or the 2-game series. They went 1-1 versus NAR. They lost to Union Gaming. This is all ADL, by the way. 2-0 versus Ban Earth. 1-1 versus CNB. 1-1 versus Osiris, even though they got removed from the qualifiers, and they 2-0'd Osiris. I don't know how to say that, but
yeah, that's a weird name.
It's a Mako Shark. I looked it up.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I actually have NAR as my favorites to win this qualifier. I think that they're going to win, and I think Liquid's going to get second. Or
SNA. I mean, that's the top three there for my perspective. Not necessarily in any order, but SNA, TL, and NAR.
Yeah, I think that's most people's undisputed top three here. So But not to say that other teams can't squeeze in there. It's definitely room
for sure.
that. Like someone who was mentioning, I believe, on the Beyond the Summit studio last night that top 5 was going to be like the sleeper. And I agree. I think some of top 5's players are really strong and could easily sneak in.
Patsol's a boss.
Yeah, well, they just play really well as a team. Like they're one of the few teams in here that aren't well known, like in the international scene by any means, but they actually play well and communicate well as a team. And I think that's the biggest thing. You can be a great individual player, but it doesn't matter if you have no teamwork.
Yeah, I actually played against top 5 in a pub in like party matchmaking the other day.
Oh god, they're so tryhard.
They are so tryhard, man. And I lost, and I got MMR. Like I received +5 MMR for losing to them.
Was that how big the MMR disparity is? Like, oh my god, we feel bad for you. Here's some charity.
Yeah, apparently I'm garbage. But either way, this is the TI4 qualifiers, game 1 of many today. Here on, what are we at? Twitch.tv/joinDotaBlue for the EU hub. I'm Helium. You can follow me on Twitter at Heliumbrella and Tralf. Where can they find you? Or any shoutouts, plugs?
Just my Twitter is at TralfDota and my stream is twitch.tv/Tralf.
Alright, we'll be back with another game shortly. Thanks for watching.